What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I'm just a man trying to make common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. Now, I cover a wide range of subjects on this channel. I don't stick there and focus on one group of people. And the way that I leave groups of people is damn, he must hate us. Yes, it is true. I do not like a lot of you. There's multiple things I don't like because multiple things are really bad for society. So I'm a E for everyone kind of dude, meaning anybody and everybody can get it, whether they be on the left or whether they be really on the right, whether it be men, whether it be women. And the way that I do it, I'll scorch you so bad you would think that I got a personal vendetta against you. It's nothing personal, it's just business. Problem is, my business is personal, and so I know a lot of people don't like what I do. Now, there's a subject that is very, very touchy. I say it's like the Infinity Gauntlet of things you can't do on YouTube. You cannot talk badly about women. You cannot talk badly about the LGBT or the gays. You cannot talk badly about blacks. And there's some more, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's basically like the four things. If I remember correctly, I had four things, four no-nos that if you cover these stories or whenever I cover these stories, I get a wave of people upset at me, which good. I love haters on my channel because even though you leave that dislike thinking you did your due part or you use multiple accounts to put dislikes or you bring your friends to put dislikes, you bring more traffic and then my content gets pushed up. So shout out to you guys. I'm going to cover a subject that a lot of people pretend to ignore. They overlook it, they slide it under the rug, and I'm not that type of person to do that. I treat everything fairly. When something is wrong, common sense. I got to bring it to the table because enough is enough. Let's get into it. Father charged with attempting to honor kill daughter was only worried about his car while he was arrested. An Iraqi father charged with attempting to honor kill his teenage daughter outside her high school in Washington state appeared to care more about his car than his daughter as he was being arrested, new body cam footage shows. Aishan Ali, of course, because they all have the same goddamn. Have you noticed they all got the same name? It's Ahmed or Mohammed or some type of mixture of Ahmed. It's the funniest thing to me, which is crazy because I think that like in London, the most popular name in London is Mohammed. That that blows my mind right there. That's sad, dog. Anyway, Hassan Ali allegedly, it didn't alleged because I saw the video. Hassan Ali choked his 17-year-old daughter to the point of unconsciousness and punched her boyfriend in the face outside Timberline High School in Lacey in October because she refused to marry an older man in another country. They do that. I know you people out there try to sit there and claim all religions are equal. It's not. Or you have, your outspoken feminists that become oddly, eerily silent when it comes down to the violations of women in these other places. It's very funny to me. Um, a chilling new video of the aftermath shows Ali yelling in Arabic to his wife, Zahra Ali, who has also been charged. Yes, because when he went after his daughter and he did all of these things, the wife was with him. And I know you're probably sitting there going, oh, well, he was just having a really, really bad episode. It's like, okay, but again, you guys are always so quick to say men are predators, men are dangerous, X, Y, and Z. Surely the mom would do anything. Nope, the mom is down with it too. Because this is not the first case. Whoa. This is not the first case. Sorry about that. This is not the first case of this kind of thing happening. And you would think, well, damn, this shouldn't be happening on American soil. Of course, it's happening in their countries only. No, this is not the first time that this has happened on American soil. I hope that this works. I'm going to try to do this. Hold on. Ah, boy. A chilling new video of the okay, so we read that. All right. Um Apparent concern about police stealing their car as he's being led by cops into the back of a cruiser in handcuffs. Now I just gotta sit here and say it like this. They don't see it as wrong when they're fulfilling the will of Allah. These people are very backwards thinking. And the saddest thing about it is if people stop playing games with these individuals, it would have never gotten to this point where we got two-tier policing across the pond, or we have them having their own special police to enforce Sharia law in our neighborhoods, by the way. It is the craziest thing to me. I would think it would be the craziest thing anybody with decency and common sense or any type of intelligence, but this is what they've done throughout history. They start off small. They pretend that they just want to assimilate, but they don't assimilate. And then once they get the numbers, we start seeing the protest. Then the protest starts becoming more violent, and then they want to take over. They start praying in the streets. They start doing all of this. And listen, I'll give you some wiggle room. I'll play the game just like they play the game because I know YouTube is very sensitive about this shit, right? But here's the deal, and this is the reason. And I say it straight up, and they be like, "Oh, well, what you got problems with all of us?" Is because at the end of the day, realistically, at the end of the day, they all believe this, and if they don't believe this, then they're not real Muslims. So let's just cut the bullshit. Let's cut the bullshit. If you don't believe that until the end that only Muslims stand, you're not a real Muslim. If you don't believe in honor killings, if you don't believe in all of this type of stuff, everybody else is what's the word kafir, whatever, infidels, you're not a real Muslim. Just that simple. Let's just be real here. Look, I know maybe you're not going to hear this from another channel. It is what it is. Zaha, Zaha, come here, he yells, according to a transcript of the arrest translated by the Daily Mail. He called to another daughter, Haneen, and his wife to take the car from police and drive it away so they don't steal it. They took the car, they're going to steal it. Again, you got paperwork, my dude. What do you mean they're going to steal the car? you're you're practically killing your daughter and you care about your car. But then again, they celebrate death more than life. The car, they'll steal it, he yells again. Ali's attacked daughter told police that her father had recently been threatening her with honor killing for refusing an arranged marriage with an older man in another country, according to charging documents previously obtained by the Post. She had run away from home and sought help from the school staff on October 18th, which outraged her parents, who showed up and attacked her, some of which was caught on camera. As Ali choked his daughter, as other students, including the girl's boyfriend, desperately tried to pry her away, the document alleged. It's not right. You're not supposed to do this, her father told her with his hands around her throat before she blacked out. Which one is it, Post? Is it allegedly or did she black out? How did she black out? How did she black out? Did he do it or did he not do it? I know you guys seen the video, so what do you mean alleged? Yo, this journalism is garbo. This is like the track star who cracked the other track star over the head with the baton and cracked her skull open, sitting there, she not apologizing and sitting there talking about, you should care about my feelings. How does this make me feel? I know I didn't mean to do it. Like, no, what? And it's on video. It's like, man. All right. The girl escaped with her boyfriend, running to the school's main office screaming, "My dad is trying to kill me," prompting a school lockdown as school staff blocked the girl's parents from getting inside, according to court documents. And here's the thing. Here's the truth about the matter. If she had brothers in the States or that was close by, they wouldn't have been able to stop this. Absolutely. If she had like probably two brothers, they would have all had decided to have done this. And because this has been done multiple times on U.S. soil, honor killings. Either that, or they successfully remove the person, take them back to the states, and then by then it's way too late. Again, it is the funniest thing because I'll say it with a straight face. I don't like this group, this religious group, this ideology that they push. They're more likely to be violent, just like blacks are more likely to commit crimes, certain type of crimes. These people that follow this ideology, and again, they're not all bad. We know not all group of any group is all bad. I wouldn't even say the majority of them are, but at the end of the day, ultimately it leads down to this path. I know, oh, it's messed up. This is mean. This is hate speech. Is it though? Or do you just sit there and deny reality? Let's be real. I keep it real on this channel. I keep it. That's all I try to do. It's funny because I remember during the height of BLM. I want to take you guys back. So this is what I mean by every group hates me, because I keep it raw and unfiltered with whatever group or subject I'm engaging with. It's only common sense, and I'm swimming through the bullshit, so you don't have to. But I want you ultimately to make your own decision. That's really what it is. If the shoe doesn't fit, when you hear me talking about your people, but the shoe doesn't fit, I'm clearly not talking to you. So you don't put on that shoe. At the height of BLM, during the mostly peaceful but fiery riots, let's take you guys back during the lockdowns when nobody was able to do anything unless you was protesting because that was socially acceptable. That was more important than the virus that was supposedly so bad people couldn't even go see their dying parents that were only dying because they wasn't giving them proper medical care, and they was denying um, FDA approved medicine for political points, right? In Washington D.C., not even 6 blocks away from the White House, in whichever direction it was. It wasn't even 6 blocks away from the White House. There was a Pakistani man who was in. I think this man was like 80 something. I kid you not, 80 or 70 something years old, working Uber, and he's delivering food and he's taking care of his family. He's bringing home the bacon to his family. I believe he had a kid and his wife. Pakistani man, and three girls get in his car. The three girls get in his car, black by the way. Three girls get in his car, force their way into his car, and proceed to try to take the car over. These girls, I believe it was three girls or two girls. It was probably two girls. I think it was two girls. These two girls weren't even over the age of 15. And they get in his car, try to take it over. One of them had a taser, if I remember correctly. It was a while back. I apologize if I'm butchering the story. I wish I could pull back up this story, but I did have a channel before that almost had 500 something subscribers. That's neither here or there, but that video is long gone. They get in the car and they hit the accelerator. The girl in the back tells the girl in the front that's trying to take over the car to hit the accelerator. The girl in the front hit the accelerator. They're tasing him, whatever, like that. The guy is half and half in the car trying to stop them, and he's asking for help, for somebody to help him stop these two girls because he doesn't want to put hands on these girls. The car drives off. He's half in the car, half out the car. The car speeds down the road, and half of his body hits a, I don't know if it's a lamp pole or a light pole or whatever. The gray pole that goes, yeah, it's a light pole, basically, a light pole. The gray statue, the gray structure that does an arc at the top, and there's a light. Half of his body hits that. The car door slam. You can actually see the car door slam on his body. He's half in, half out the car when that happens. At the end of the road, it's not a straight road. It actually leads to a T section, like a T path section. So straight road, and then there's another road in the other direction. It doesn't go what anyway. The car hits the sidewalk on the end of that T section and flips. The guy's body flies from the crosswalk where the car flips over, and it slams as far as it can go, it flies into a middle guard because what at the end of the T section is like a parking lot, I guess, area. That's what my memory's thinking of. And you have like a gate, right? So it's like a gate where you can see cars, and then every floor goes up or whatever like that. But it's a gate. His body slams into that, and you have people that catch up to the car, and these two girls get out of the car, and you can hear the girls. They don't care about the guy. They don't care about what they did. And one of the girls is sitting there, and she's upset, and she's having like a little bit of a panic attack. And you would think, oh shit, maybe her actions caught up to her. She's worried and she's bugging out over the fact that her phone is still in the car. The man died, by the way. And I just remember reporting this story, and I remember being on Twitter, and this is when it was still called Twitter, I believe. I think it was still called Twitter. And because I said what I said, that I was like, this man died. He was older than both of these girls combined. They should they should spend time in jail, because apparently this is not the first time that these girls have done this. They should be made an example of, and they should spend time in jail, considering for what they did. Split the amount of time that this guy was alive. And then you had your hive mind black girls pop up. Oh, well, it was one that popped up, and she goes, "Oh, you can't say that. These are babies." But if you look at her page, you can see the only reason why she's riding this hard is because they're black. Because I've seen multiple posters that this person had, that if it was a white person or a white baby, they were laughing. They were eating it up. They did not care. But because the kids were black, that's the reason why. They're all for it. It was so bad because people were slamming these people and dragging them so goddamn bad. They started to do a whole bunch of craziness. I remember one of these girls, they went through all of my posts, and they pulled up a post that said that I when I got in trouble with Twitter for sexual child misconduct, or some bullshit. And it was like, oh, we knew it. We knew you hated black women. We knew um we knew you was a pedophile, and the reason why I got that strike or whatever bullshit was because I uploaded a picture of Joe Biden sniffing a kid. I shit you not. And I don't know if this was like something that they just normally do, that they'll find a post or whatever like that and edit it, because they did that shit like clockwork. And I was like, are you fucking serious? I said, the only time that I've ever been taken down off of Twitter, I know exactly what this post is, exactly what this is, and you're running that I'm a pedophile. That's the president you guys support. But again, it just goes to show you, it's E for everyone. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what you've done, as long as you're not a bad person. You, whatever happens to people needs to be reported so people can be made aware of the craziness that's going on in this world. Anyway, let's continue. The girl escaped with her boyfriend, running to the school's main office screaming, "My dad was trying to kill me," prompting a school lockdown as school staff blocked the girl's parents from getting inside, according to court documents. Later in the video, Ali asked the police if he could see his daughter he just allegedly tried to kill, according to the Daily Mail. "You will not speak to your daughter," the arresting officer tells him. "We're investigating a criminal investigation right now. Just let me tell her to come home. If I tell her to come home, she will go home. Ali pleads before the cop slams the car door." Yo, that's crazy, because I guarantee you, that girl will be gone. That girl will disappear if she goes back. This is one of those cases where any other time, I just reported a story where you had a female predator, with the help of a school, forge papers for a girl who she was having a sexual relationship with, a student, forged papers to claim that this girl was homeless, so that they continue their sexual relationship within the confines of her own home, stepping above and beyond to be predatory and abusive. In this situation, this is when the community is supposed to come together to protect that girl. The problem is, you are ignoring the underlying factor of why something like this would even be a thing that would even happen. That's all I'm gonna say on that. All I'm gonna say on that. Ali, 44, and his wife, 40, were charged with attempted murder, attempted kidnapping, and assault. The boyfriend's father, Victor Barnes, said his family have had issues with the Alis for months, including an alleged physical altercation that forced him to get a temporary protection order. Honor killing is a practice in some societies in which members justify killing a person, usually a woman, by claiming the victim has brought dishonor to the family. Oh yeah, what societies? What societies do honor killings happen? Is it Jewish society? What about European societies? You know, actual European societies, not the people that claim to be British when it benefits them, but then they also rep where they come from. No, no, no. What about American societies? What's this? Where does it come from? Come on, man, stop the bullshit. Anyway, let's look at some of these comments. Animals treat their young better than this cowardly man treats his daughter. They lie and call it a religion, but actually it's a murderous, evil, violent, malicious ideology this father believes in. Thank goddess his daughter survived. One cell found, a few hundred more to go. If this dude has a visa or a green card, deport him. But here's the thing. Then that so here's the thing. I guarantee you that daughter, if she gets the chance, if they give her the proper chance, that daughter's done with that religion. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And is that what it takes for you to realize that? Anyway, I wonder how many fewer immigrants we would have if a few of the rules, such as not forcing your daughter into arranged marriage, was read to them before they came here. They wouldn't care because the goal is to overrun the population. Read up on the case of Tina Isa from 1989. It'll rip your heart out. Sad that parents love their pride more than they love their children. Who? Tina Isa. Tina Isa, November 6, 1989, was a Brazilian American teenage girl murdered in an honor killing in St. Louis, Missouri by her parents, Zane and Maria Isa. Like I said, both the parents, 100%, because they're down with the religion. Her death was recorded on audio tape during the Federal Bureau of Investigation surveillance on Zain Isa due to the association with the Abdul Nagul Nada organization. He and his wife were both convicted for first degree murder and sentenced to death. Shit, Louisiana don't play, baby. Zen Isa died of diabetes before he could be executed. Maria Isa was later resentenced to life imprisonment and died in prison. Palestine's Zion Isa, named after Palestine, was born December 9th, 1972. Okay, that's a lot. The youngest of seven siblings. She lived in a southern portion of the city of St. Louis in an apartment complex and attended Dewey Junior High School and Roosevelt High School in St. Louis. Her father was a Muslim Palestinian, Zain Isa, who originated from Benton, West Bank. Her mother, Maria Isa, was Brazilian and Roman Catholic. She was of German, Italian, Palestinian, and some Armenian descent. She learned Arabic and Portuguese from her parents and Spanish during her time in Puerto Rico. Zain Al, man, these fucking names are ridiculous. Born on June 3rd, 1931, was the third son of a farmer. While I don't care about his background, dog. Okay, on February 6, 1989, 1983, the two married despite the opposition of Maria's parents. Zayn did not reveal to Maria that she was his second wife until they had married. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? And Maria dumbass stayed. Of course, again, pulling that Trojan horse into the camp every single time. Yeah, I've always loved it. I, okay. I don't love it, but I always do find it to be somewhat hilarious, just somewhat funny when these women they find this guy of their dreams, and she's like he's so wonderful and he's dashing and he's so they'll say all of this shit, and then you see the girl a week later and she's fully clothed in a fucking hijab. looking like a straight slave. It's just like, dog, what? I thought you was all about freedom and all of this liberation, and it's the funniest thing. They moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, in fall in 1963. Then to Patterson, New Jersey. So they was moving all over the place. Um, okay. In 1980, Zane became a naturalized citizen in the United States. The entire family moved to Benton in the West Bank when Tina was 5. The family came to St. Louis around 1986 and owned a grocery store there. Tina began learning English after arriving in St. Louis, where her friends gave her the nickname Tina. In 1991, Tim Bryant of the St. Louis Post Dispatch spoke in regard to the parents. Neither speaks English well. Tina's relationship with her father deteriorated after she turned 14. In early years, they had enjoyed a closer relationship. She listened to American popular music such as hip hop, dance, rap, R&B, and rock. Tina Ice's ambition was to become a pilot after taking aeronautical engineering courses. She intended to pursue this training at Parks College of Engineering, Aviation, and Technology, part of the St. Louis University. Zane wanted to marry Tina as a marriage partner to a man in his hometown. There it is. It's starting all over again. Isa's elder sister stated their dislike of her lifestyle. Her family sent people to extract her from a prom dance she attended. When her family learned that she, since January 1989, was engaged in a romantic relationship with a 21-year-old African American, Cliff Walker, Tina's parents became even angrier. So he was black. That Cliff Walker, that sound like an American name if I ever heard one. Like that don't sound like a black adjacent. That sound like an American name right there. Cliff, Cliff Walker. If they had said African American, it'd have been something like Cliff. I can't poop. I'd have like, all right, what we see. But no, okay. Tina's parents grew even angrier. And see, this is another thing that I be saying. When you see those kids with the Palestine flags, like these action terrorist supporters, and they be like, "Oh, you're black. You should understand." I'd be like, "Yo, we not the same." And then what do they do real quick? They real quick to flip once they realize that you're not playing their game. Oh, whatever. That's why the white people use you, nigger. And I'm like, yeah, you're a sand nigger. I guess we're even. I guess we're even. That's the game. That's that energy we need to have as a whole. As Americans, that's the energy that I'm pushing. That's the energy you guys need to be having. Um, Tina's parents grew even angrier. So understand, at this point, Maria, the mom, she was fully indoctrinated. Again, I hate to break it to you. You get married to somebody and you find out he has a second wife. Ladies, you should probably fucking leave. What else are they lying about? You don't got no listen, you ain't got no respect for yourself if you get married to a dude and he doesn't tell you he married. Anyway, um Zain Issa held grudges against African Americans since he believed Palestinian business people had been targeted by black criminals. No, that's fair. I mean, what am I supposed to say about that? I can't say shit about that. Prior to his daughter's murder, Zine made telephone calls stating that Tina had damaged the honor of his family and needed to die. On the day of her death, how did she die? On the day of her death, she worked her first day at a Wendy's fast food restaurant. The family also opposed the idea of her not working for the family grocery business. Well, okay, so here's the thing. This is the truth. And a lot of people, these people do not assimilate at all. It is very, very, very rare. And if they are simulating, believe me, it is completely controlled. They do not put back money into any communities that they happen to be in besides their own. This is just the truth. This is just, again, I know you got this is just the truth that you don't want to hear, but it is the truth. I don't care how much you screech at me. I'm just reporting. This is all documented. This is just the truth. Um, what is it? Ellen Harris, author of Guarding the Secrets, wrote that the problem was that Tina thought of herself as an American and not as an Arab. What did I? Didn't I just say they don't assimilate? What? What I say, dog? I'm 9 for 10. And even when I miss, I still end up hitting the three that don't believe in me. Every time. I'm on goddamn fire. Her murder took place at the Deco Park Apartments in her family's residence. Isa's boyfriend walked her home after the first day of her job. Initially, her parents criticized her for having an outside job and later stated a belief that she was doing something else instead of working. Zain Isa stabbed her daughter with a boning knife. So yeah, they plant that shit. All right. Stabbed her daughter with a boning knife. One of her lungs, her liver, and her heart was severely damaged by 6 blows to her chest. Maria Isa assisted Zain in holding Tina. FBI agents were not at the surveillance unit when the killing happened. Tina Isa was buried at Sacred Heart Cemetery in Florissant, Missouri, reportedly in a bridal gown. Her Brazilian mother had unmarried girls and women in Brazil who died. I'm sorry. Let me read this again. Tina Isa was buried at Sacred Heart Cemetery in Florissant, Missouri, reportedly in a bridal gown. Her Brazilian mother said unmarried girls and women in Brazil who die are buried accordingly. The family intentionally did not provide notice of the funeral to the media to ensure that only people from the family, the local Palestinian community, and people from Britain attended. See what I mean? See what I mean? They're all in on it. They expressly did not want Tina's boyfriend to attend. FBI agents secretly monitored and photographed the proceedings. Zain Isa was a member of the Abu Nagar organization, which at the time he murdered his daughter, was plotting to bomb the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Man, listen. Man, listen. I just be thinking I be speaking bullshit, dog. Third world country lawlessness, Democrat approved. Welcome to the Stone Age. Get out. This is the behavior of Stone Age savage barbarian. Prosecute to the fullest extent. The folks in the Gen population can't wait to explain to you that we here in the U.S. think about men who beat children. Wait, what? I can't read that, dog. He's the kind of guy that will be asking for extra portions in jail. People still don't understand the problem. When you allow garbage into your country, the country becomes garbage. Diversity means immigrants not having to or being required to integrate into American culture and society, not having to adopt American values nor respect the Constitution. The whole point, the whole point of the melting pot is you're supposed to assimilate. You're not supposed to change the melting pot to what your flavor is. You're supposed to assimilate in that melting pot. That is the idea of becoming American. These people purposely don't come, I mean, these people purposely come to America with no intentions of assimilating. No intentions. And the biggest problem is we have idiots that sit there and that allow that. Again, every single person that comes into the United States, they need to pass a test. They need to pass a test every few years or so. They need to be able to pledge allegiance to the flag. No problems. They need to be able to take certain tests, and they need to be able to prove their allegiance to the United States. If they do not do that, then they get the fuck to stepping. Those people are treasonous. They're traitors. Well, they're not treasonous or traitors because they never had allegiance to the United States in the first place. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
The husband has physical needs, and she is not willing to make herself available for the husband. Does she have an excuse, a medical excuse, a valid excuse? No. She just doesn't want to. So if she has no medical excuse, no psychological excuse, no whatsoever excuse, she has no right not to make herself available within appropriate limits and means. If you want to solve this situation, start with step number 1. You have the best attitude, use nice words, and try to make her happy. See what's bothering her. Let's say you tried step number 1. You really did. You went out of your way to try to please her and fix the situation. She's still stubborn. She's ignoring you. She doesn't care. She's being negligent. She's not making herself available. What's step number 2? وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. The next step is now you start applying pressure on her. Let her know that her attitude is not welcome. If that doesn't work, then the Quran says, وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ. If that doesn't work, as a last resort, hit them. The Imam ﷺ says in this hadith, we have this hadith, the Imam says he is allowed to hit her with a toothbrush, miswak. It's a small little piece of wood this big. The Imam says if he wants to hit her, he's only allowed to hit her this way. You're allowed to hit without having, this might sound funny to you, but just get the idea here, without having your armpit exposed. That means you can't raise your hand. You have to lower your hand such that your armpit doesn't show the underneath of your arms. You know, you hit like that. Try. Can you really hard?
Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. And then we turn around, they're throwing people off of buildings, they're doing honor killings and stabbing their own daughters. How did we go from little toothbrush that you can't expose your armpits to killing people? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.